Hello, everyone. So wonderful to see you. I am going live here on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram. I know this is not our usual time. Usually we are live at 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, but today is a special day. It's a special occasion. And so I wanted to invite you to discover the fountain of youth. So I hope you'll be joining me. And if you could see me, say hello in the comments. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. Let me go ahead and delete this comment. It's always my own comment that I'm deleting. All right, guys. So welcome everyone to today's live readings and healings with Deeple. Today we have a very special focus on the fountain of youth is what we're going to be talking about. And I have invited the incredible Ian Farrar, who is I would say an expert in helping with wellness and healing. And we're diving into a conversation that could very well change how you approach aging, vitality, and overall wellness. But first, let's talk about science of aging. And as we get older, our bodies naturally begin to slow down. And so does our ability to regenerate at a cellular level. Like for me, I've noticed, that my skin feels drier or that my eyes aren't working as effectively. And I do feel it in my body as well. And so when I was looking at the statistics, by the age of 30, our collagen production starts to decrease by about 1% per year. This decline contributes to all the visible signs of aging, like wrinkles or sagging skin or crepey skin. Our body's ability to repair itself also decreases by 50% by the time we reach 40 years of age. And this is why we start to notice more aches and pains, slower healing, and lower energy levels. How many of you actually feel that your energy levels are lower than what they used to be? Many of us are dealing with low energy levels. We're feeling more tired than usual. There are things that we don't understand that are happening in the body. Even inflammation. One of the biggest signs that you will see is inflammation. The foods that used to work for you, that used to digest properly, maybe they're not doing that anymore, right? It all has to do with this key piece, inflammation. Believe it or not, 80% of people experience inflammation as they age, which has been linked to various chronic conditions, including arthritis, heart disease, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Now, imagine if there was a way to stimulate your body's natural healing and regenerate the process, reduce the inflammation, restore youthful vitality to both your mind and your body, right? They're not two separate things. They're the same, but we have to work with both. And, we call it phototherapy. There is something out there. It's called phototherapy. And today we're going to explore how light therapy can be a game changer in the anti-aging process and help us feel and look younger. Phototherapy has been scientifically proven to support cellular regeneration. And we're going to talk more about that as I bring on Ian Farrar, and I want to welcome him to the stage. Hello, Ian. Welcome. So good to see
How
you.
are you? It's so great to be on your show for my first time. Blessings to you from sunny Florida.
I love it. I love it. I am so happy to be here and talking to you about this really, really amazing therapy that people could use to help their body. Because, Ian, I have been working with people as a medical intuitive for over a decade. And each and every one of my clients are dealing with some form of inflammation. Everybody's complaining, I can't focus. I don't have, that's been one of the biggest things, brain health. And then also just feeling tired and sluggish all the time. And we're saying, oh, there's stuff going on in the universe, the cosmos, and all these solar flares and things that are chaotic. The world is chaotic. But how can we take care of ourselves by this new thing? I guess we can't call it a new thing because phototherapy has been around. The sun is a huge form of phototherapy, right? But for those who are new to phototherapy, could you break it down for us? Like, what exactly is that?
Sure. First of all, I have 30 years in the health and wellness space, and I've learned a lot about many healing modalities. And human beings have been on the planet for quite some time. And in the past 150 years, a lot's changed around our humanity. There's EMF pollution. There's glyphosate being sprayed on our food. There's GMO food. There's a lot of challenges that are plaguing our very population. So, of course, we have the light of the sun, which isn't negative. Okay. I don't recommend smearing a lot of stuff on your skin to protect your skin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
we need clean water, we need clean food, and we need clean light. Now, human beings are inflammation walking around. Okay. I've spoken on many stages throughout my career, and there is not one person in the audience that didn't have some type of ache and pain due to an inflammatory diet, more often than not inflammatory thoughts, because what you think could also, work within your body as well. You could eat completely plant-based, raw, vegan, whatever, and still have inflammation in the body. So this leads me into phototherapy. Okay. Back in the day, people, there used to be sun decks on all the hospitals. Now hospitals, unfortunately, are all enclosed. Okay. And there's no sunlight. So on those sun decks in the 20s in the United States, there used to be a sun deck where all patients used to get anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes of light therapy. Because what do we produce? We produce vitamin D when we get the ample amounts of sun. So how does this lead me in once again into phototherapy? Phototherapy is an amazing process in which it will help you stimulate which goes dormant. Now, you mentioned 40, okay, but at the age of 30, that's when our cellular renewal begins to decline. Now, I've been in health and wellness for a long time. I'm a strong advocate for all of the building blocks, superfoods, and natural substances that we hear about, whether it be turmeric, ashwagandha, all these different things that help the body adapt to stress, reduce inflammation. But what happened if you could harness light, okay, with a certain vehicle to help your body renew itself naturally? Because listen, as you know, there's light therapy, there's the cold water plunge shock therapy, there's far infrared sauna therapy. You could go to another country and get stem cells, you could get PRP, you could get all these things. Well, what happened if you could learn about a simple process where you could tap your body into your own fountain of youth?
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah. It's a great love affair because listen, I believe that health resonates from the inside out, and our culture, whether you look at all the fashion magazines, people are just, oh my God, how does that person look so good? If a person looks really great for their age, and then they're mid to late 30s, 40s, 50s, like myself, I'll be 57 in December. And I pride myself on really taking impeccable care of myself. And I do a lot of the biohacking. I mean, if you saw my program in the morning, you see the blended shake that I make. I really feed all of my cells because, folks, listen, we have 70 trillion cells that need love every day. So I've learned a lot about biohacking and phototherapy, getting out in the sun and, being exposed and raising your consciousness to these things is just going to help you live a healthier, happier life.
Mm. A lot of we talk about inflammation, we talk about a little bit about, stem. What I want to get into is the stem cells,
Yeah,
right?
stem
Because
cells.
there's so many stem cell
Yeah.
therapies out there that you mentioned,
Yeah.
but I want to go deeper into the stem cells. Talk to us a little bit about our own stem cells and how we can use phototherapy to help rejuvenate them.
Yeah, I mean, stem cells are amazing. They're there to repair. It's not just stem cells from an aesthetic standpoint. People hear or think about stem cells that I have an injury. When you cut yourself, the body activates the healing process where stem cells go to the area, the site, and they begin to heal you. Isn't it amazing that you actually cut your finger and it grows back new? I mean, that alone is like a science fiction movie. Okay. Normally, when you break something, like if I break my calculator next to me, it's broken.
It's broken.
And and it will stay looking broken. Now, folks, listen to this. It will stay looking broken. But if you cut yourself, of course, not too deep where you need stitches because you'll probably have a scar, but the scar is the remnants of what the stem cell work has done. Okay. So, back in the day, being a young kid, running around, falling off bikes and stuff, I had lots of raspberries on my knees. And it always amazed me, even back then, Deeple, that my body repaired itself. Okay. But, being in or around our age is when the body stops repairing itself as quickly. I mean, I've gotten injuries. I was a competitive cyclist for years. I'm a gold medalist and 2-time silver medalist in the sport of cycling in the state of Connecticut. I've crashed on the bike, off the bike more times than I could count at speed.
Oh, wow.
I've had my share of lots of road rash, and the skin repaired itself every time, which blows my mind. So we all have stem cells, and on a deeper level, to really grow younger within, you need to explore the biohacking ability of what phototherapy could achieve on a daily basis, because this takes work. Okay. Being 21st century humans now, I mean, I was born in, the late 60s, right? Then the 70s happened, the 80s happened, and a lot's happening around us.
Right.
So in order to pursue health, in order to have that homeostasis from within, you got to biohack. So phototherapy, along with other aspects, techniques, could really, really help you thrive in today's day and age.
I agree. And, you help a lot with proper foods and nutrition. And yes, we do all of that. And we integrate that. A lot of my clients integrate energy healing into
Awesome.
their everyday life, meditation, just different practices, right? Yoga. And what I want to know, and I'm sure many of our viewers are interested in, is skin rejuvenation. Can phototherapy be used to reduce wrinkles, improve skin tone, regrow hair? I mean, that's a huge problem, especially women who are like, okay, we're going through menopause or perimenopause.
Right. Well, I could speak to this. My wife is from Colombia, and, we have a home in Medellin, Colombia, and Medellin happens to be like one of the places where women go to get the tummy and all of that stuff fixed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not an advocate for that, because the body, that's a violation of the body. Now, the after looks pretty impressive, but if people don't change their lifestyle habits, it's going to happen again and again. So when we talk about collagen, okay, most people think about sagging skin, okay? But the lining of your heart, your ligaments, everything is collagen, okay? And as we age, that tends to break down, which alters our structure integrity of our bodies. So
Right.
phototherapy and certain techniques can substantially increase your collagen production And I'm not talking about taking collagen, protein, and all that.
Right.
Listen, I have 30 years in the nutritional space, and a lot of that is gimmickry. Okay. There are things that you could consume and proper techniques that we're talking about today that could dramatically increase your body potential of collagen production by just applying what we're talking about today.
And you don't have to take collagen, because I've got a big bucket of collagen,
Stop.
which half the time I don't even remember to take.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, there are a lot of things that are available to us. I mean, just going for a walk, and listen, don't laugh, but go out. When was the last time you hugged a tree? I mean, the frequency that nature emits is very, very calming to our nervous system. Okay, we are part of this planet. We were species of the planet, and we happen to unfortunately damage our whole environment where we live. Animals in nature don't do that. We do. So your inner terrain is incredibly important. Okay, the choices that you make are incredibly important. And when it comes to growing older gracefully or not, I mean, my grandmother lived to 102. All the food was organic in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. My dad was born in 1941. My dad's 84 and he's healthy. I was born in 1968 when agriculture was really starting to make a turn for the worse. So you have to be very aware, okay? And you know what? Go out and get some sun, and go out and ground. Go out, be barefoot. Get the natural frequency and the magnetic field of the planet, okay? When you walk on the beach and people are like, oh, I just feel so good. That's getting magnetic field therapy. So getting the sun, getting phototherapy, okay? Applying certain things to your life that are going to help your body from within are the so-called biohacking techniques of someone that wants to live a life free of disease, Deeple.
Can I ask you something, Ian? What else have you seen with your experience with phototherapy? Like, what have you seen help? Like, what kind of diseases, that we're not talking about right now?
Yeah. I mean, there's some amazing things that are happening when you give the body the toolbox to reach homeostasis. Every person's body is always working to find its balance. Pharmaceuticals will not help you achieve balance. Okay. Alcohol takes you out of balance, not in balance. Okay. So there are many, many instances where type 2 diabetics, you name it, use simple process and they recover. So whether you have a heart patient, I mean, there's a person that I heard a testimonial from, which is pretty powerful. They had to get a pacemaker because their heart wasn't functioning properly. They used this phototherapy and their heart production or performance increased to 85% from 45%, and they no longer need the pacemaker. Okay, so I'm not a cardiologist, I'm not a doctor, but these are some of the testimonials that I'm hearing people experience based on a simple therapy. Okay, a simple therapy that one could apply every day.
I'm getting chills. Like, as you're talking about it, I'm like, I want this. I want this.
Yes.
I see some of our beautiful community here. Therese, hello. Nadine, hello. Pat, I see you're on, and I know you got here late, but you're not late. We're talking about phototherapy, and if you want to know more, you can always email me at deepalshah@anandaforlife.com. I'll put you I will give you the information, send you the information of the phototherapy that we are utilizing at this time to really help receive it quicker within the body. And Ian, when we talk about phototherapy, what devices are on the market today, and what should people really look for in a product?
Yeah, well, when it comes to anything that's going to stimulate stem cell production, of course, you could go the traditional route. You could go to Mexico, you could go to Colombia, you could spend 10, 20, 30, a lot of money on getting wherever they harvest them from, umbilical, or, I prefer not to get those stem cells. I'd rather to work with mine. But there are delivery systems, there are patches that deliver it. Of course, sitting in far infrared sauna could actually stimulate, stem cells as well. But simple applications to the body in specific areas to create the stem cell production in that area of the body or a central part of the body that will just enhance general overall wellness. Okay. Now, everyone wants to feel great, but are you willing to make the decision to feel great and make the right lifestyle choices? Okay. It's a great idea. I mean, I go to great lengths. I get my sprouts from gotsprouts.com. I consume my organic superfoods. I eat like a chimpanzee a few days a week where I just eat fruit. Okay. And lots of greens. And then I'll have some quinoa and some other stuff. I'm eating foods that have been around on the planet for a long time. They're going to help me rejuvenate. I'm taking care of my mitochondria. I'm making sure that the right voltage is around my cell, grounding, okay? And I'm applying things to my body that help me tap into the fountain of youth, people.
I love it. So how many supplements, can I ask, how many supplements do you take? Because if you're eating all this wonderful food, and do you find that we do need to supplement ourselves if we're doing phototherapy? Is there room for supplementation?
Yeah, there is room for supplementation. I mean, phototherapy is just, if you're looking at a pie chart, it's a part of the pie. Grounding is a part of the pie. Okay, walking in nature is part of the pie. Then the human body, people, needs 90 elements a day to sustain health. Okay. Now, helping us tap into our stem cells is just going to help us recover, rejuvenate, and feel much better. But even your stem cells need love and light. No pun intended. They need the right electric charge to do what they want to do. They need all the nutrients. I mean, I'm a big believer in spirulina because it's very high in superoxide dismutase. So I take a lot of supplements and they're all whole food because the human body hasn't changed for thousands and thousands of years. So my supplementation is all food derived, and the sprouts that I referenced, and I'm not affiliated with gotsprouts.com. They're in Riviera Beach, Florida. They send you these sprouts in a Ziploc, but it's a hydroponic farm. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I call them up. They send me my sprouts. I cut them up, put an avocado. My wife makes a homemade dressing, and that's my meal. It's a living food meal that's full of hydrogen. That's another element. We hear a lot about hydrogen water and all these machines. There's ways to get more hydrogen in your water because, listen, hydrogen is like the holy element, and your body needs to be, alkaline, 7.2. pH stands for potential hydrogen. Okay, foods that virtually have none are the overly cooked food, fried food, meats, cheeses, all the stuff that just tastes so good. Everything that's advertised on TV is a very, very low pH.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're learning that, right? What are we putting at the end of our fork? Right. And are we being mindful of that? So that's what got me really interested in phototherapy. Is there a way that we could find long-term benefits, by using phototherapy and incorporating it into our practices? I mean, I think we need to make it as part of our practice. If we can't get out in the sun, at least we have something that can also benefit us. What are some long-term benefits that people can expect to experience from consistent use of phototherapy?
I mean, within a few days, over 4,000 genes are activated.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Within 3 months, collagen production starts to increase. Within 6 months, your heart begins to reverse and age. Okay. Because if you look at what your heart is made of, it's a muscle, and there's lots of collagen, there's lots of elastin and everything right there. Okay. You really need to take care of your organ system. So, when it comes to tapping into the fountain of youth, I mean, this phototherapy with this proper application, it's pretty remarkable what people, can experience. Okay. And there's lots of studies on this. Okay. Yeah. And there are a lot of things that you can do on a daily basis to help your body age gracefully.
Any studies or testimonials around eye health, or just dental eyes?
Yeah, there's plenty of collagen. There are some people that I've heard that have actually their vision has improved. Of course, I recommend, taking care of the macula with astaxanthin and lutein and all of those aspects too. Eating a colorful diet, which really, nourishes the ocular system, if I'll call that. But yes, okay. So when you look at general wellness, okay, phototherapy and the application of phototherapy will help you tap into the fountain of youth and help your organ systems live longer, healthier.
And that's the key. That's the key. We all want to live longer. We all want to live healthier, right? No matter how long we live, we want to live a healthy life. I mean, that's what we're all here for, and that's why I wanted to bring this beautiful information to all of you, because if you're interested in trying phototherapy, go ahead and email me at deepalshah@anandaforlife.com, and I will share with you the options where you could start and how you could incorporate this wellness into your life. So Ian, is there anything else that
Yeah,
you'd like to share?
I do. It's a very, very easy application, and it's a daily discipline. And I believe in our daily disciplines is where we really find our freedom. Okay. You could, dream all you want about feeling better, but unless you have the daily disciplines, that's not going to happen. I went to the gym this morning. Tomorrow I'm going for my 20-mile ride, wash and repeat, but my nutritional regimen, my lifestyle regimen is always the same. But, this aspect is incredibly giving. Okay. I believe my grandmother lived to 102. I mean, I plan
wow.
I'm going to live to 120, given what I'm doing
You are.
now. Yeah.
At the rate you're going, yes.
Yeah. So just like, it's a mindset, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I think, Deeple has a wonderful platform to help people in the 21st century really, flourish in this world today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being the light, and with all your knowledge and wisdom. It's been an amazing conversation. Are there any questions that you guys have that we can answer for you? We're going to give the floor to you. And if you have any questions for Ian or myself, we can definitely help answer those right now. So go ahead and put them in the comments, in the chat, and we'll go ahead and share our knowledge with you. So if you have any questions, we can help you at this time. I know Therese says, I love trees. Hugged one just a couple of days ago, which is awesome.
Do it every
day. And then Pat was saying, thanks, Steeple. This is fascinating, Ian. So she's really excited to hear about this information. I think a lot of people are excited because I thought people knew about phototherapy, that you can, because I always tell my clients, go out in the sun, go out in the sun. But you know what? When I had my lab work done, Ian, this is what I want to ask you. So when I had my lab work done, my vitamin D was very, very low. So as we get older, and especially being darker skin, the vitamin D, it's very, very low, to where they want to supplement at least 50,000 IUs like every single day, right? I mean, that's a lot. And for some people, it can cause digestive discomfort. Yes. So have you seen anybody where when they go back for lab work, where the vitamin D starts to balance itself?
Well, this is the thing, when they go back for lab work, they're going to see a lot of changes from within. Okay. Now, if you're going to get out in the sun and sunbathe, you need abdomen exposure in order to increase vitamin D levels. Okay. So receptors here, receptors in the abdomen. So I live in Florida. Okay. So 15 minutes a day, I find my time to go sun myself. When I ride my bike and the sun's on my arms and in my face, not so much vitamin D production. Okay, so if you were to get blood work and you do this phototherapy, whether it be sun exposure or you apply this technology to your body, okay, it's been my experience that the before and after is quite different given the way this works, because this enables the body to tap into the fountain of youth, okay? There are specific peptides in the body that get triggered by the reflective phototherapy here. Okay. This is really, really cool, everybody. And it's very simple to do every day. Okay. And one doesn't have to drastically change their lifestyle at all. Okay.
Wow.
Now, do I believe, Deeple, that everyone needs a green drink? Do I believe that people need to take care of the gut microbiome? Do I believe all that? Absolutely. But this is a simple application every day for 12 hours on and 12 hours off.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? Teresa's right. Like, I didn't know that the sun had to be on the abdominal area. I had no idea that, you know, of course we have receptors there, but I didn't realize that that's where we soak it in. That is new information to me. And I think for
Awesome.
a lot of people, it's brand new information. That is really cool. So I need to start walking around in my bikini when I go for my 1 hour walk.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ian, for your time today. Our time is up. If you guys don't have any questions, then just email me, you know, at deepalshah@anandaforlife.com, and I can give you all the information. Really simple technology. I mean, you know, it's nice to know that there is something out there to help all of us in helping our vitality, our wellness, and how we can get better each and every day and move towards greater health. So thank you so much, Ian. Lots of blessings to you and everyone here. Cherie says, haha, going to have to wear a half a shirt. Yep, those crop tops everybody's going to be walking around with crop tops now.
70s, baby. 70s.
Have a beautiful, blessed day, everyone. So wonderful to see you all. Thank you, Ian. Bye-bye, everybody.